Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is the day, guys. It's Brimstone release day. As I'm filming this, it's November 18th, Tuesday, November 18th, and Brimstone by Callie Hart, the second book in the Fae and Alchemy series. Gonna be reading it, gonna be vlogging it, been waiting, been very excited for this book. Quicksilver was a 5-star read for me, loved it. I have the special edition, like the silver special edition. I actually don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I actually live across the street from a Barnes & Noble, which I don't think I've ever said on this channel before. I could walk there. It's very close. It's not a great Barnes & Noble, to be honest. Like the ones we have near the house in LA are obviously much better. 2-3 stories, a lot more like events and everything. This one over here is quite basic. But I do live walking distance to a Barnes & Noble, which I know is like, what are you complaining about, Ashley? That it's not a great Barnes & Noble. It's a Barnes & Noble that leads across the street from your house. So I was gonna run over there at 10 a.m. and buy the special edition of Brimstone. So last night we were watching TV, and at like 9:13 p.m. Pacific Coast time, Libby was telling me that Brimstone was ready. And I was like, oh my God, it's because it's like obviously past midnight on the East Coast, and I had put a hold on the ebook and the audiobook early enough that I got it 13 minutes after midnight, which was amazing. So I quickly checked the ebook and the audiobook out. Whoops. So I was able to read the prologue before I went to bed last night, which was really great, which was a great chapter. It actually was a really good chapter. A lot of people will be very happy with the prologue. So I didn't really run over right to Barnes & Noble this morning to grab the book because thankfully Libby came through for me. Now I'm in two minds of whether I want to read the book first and make sure that it's a buyable book, that I want to buy it. Because, you know, the special edition hardcovers aren't cheap. I kind of hate like when I buy a first book in a series and I love it, because then I feel the need to complete the rest of the series, like buy the rest of the series, even if I don't care for every book enough that I would buy it on its own. So that's what I'm kind of like trying to avoid, buying Brimstone before I've read it and being like, maybe I don't want to own this book. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna just, since I have it in multiple formats, I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till I finish it. At the end of this vlog, you'll know if I loved it enough to go across the street and buy it. So we are going to make as much progress as we can today while still adulting. And yeah, exciting. Great prologue so far. Little special appearance that we'll all be very happy about. Let's get reading, and we will see what I think of the first couple chapters. Hey everyone, it's the next day, and I think that I will do an update every 25% unless something really crazy happens and I want to talk about it. So yeah, so right now I am at 25%. General thoughts so far, I am enjoying it. I like it. For the first, like, I would say 15%, even though I did my homework and I watched like a recap video and I did all that research because, you know, there's so many characters in this book, their names, the places, who's who to who, what happened, all the things is hard to retain. And so I did listen to like I did watch/listen to a half an hour like recap. And yeah, so that helped. But I gotta say the first 15% of this I was like, who is that again? Who is that again? Who is that again? Like it did take me a while to like reacclimate to the world. So hopefully you don't have that issue, but I did find that it was a little bit hard to reacclimate as far as getting my footing, getting my bearings with who everybody was, which like city belongs to like who and who lives where. Like it was still hard with the recap. I will say that. So going into this without the recap, I don't know if I still would understand what's going on. So definitely would suggest doing some kind of refresh if you haven't just read the book, because it will help you and eventually you will get your feet under you again. I have found sexy scenes a little bit cringe. There's been a couple like lines where I've like rolled my eyes and I'm like, no. So I don't know. That's just personal preference, I guess. Overall, it's been very good. They're keeping it. It's nice because it's a long book. But you get little pockets of action throughout to like keep you like excited. Like it's not building to just one singular like confrontation or battle. I'm sure there will be some kind of big confrontation and battle in the end, but it's not just that and you're just, politicking and having sexy times or traveling and to the end of the book and then like something exciting happens. Callie Hart is giving you like pockets of action to keep you invested and keep you interested. So that has been really good because it is a long book. I know everyone's like, Carrion Swift, I can't wait for more Carrion Swift. I forgot how much I loved him. And he is just still in full force in this book. Like, you will not be disappointed. I'm only 25% through, and you still will not be disappointed. He's still him. There's the Carrion we love. And yeah, he's great in this book. He is the levity. He is such a juxtaposition to Kingfisher. He's very needed in this book, in this series. His character is very needed in this series, and I think he's a great addition. He is the comedic relief. Would not be half as fun reading it if it wasn't for that character. And I hope we get a lot more of like action and story centered around him in this book and books going forward. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to explain to you if you've read the books. Like, he's like a fan favorite, and that's for a good reason. So it came out yesterday on the 18th. Today's the 19th, Tuesday. Tomorrow I will be at Disneyland all day, so I will get very little read. Probably nothing, honestly. I will catch up with you later, hopefully around like the middle, around 50% of the book, or again, like I said, if something crazy happens and I have to like update you on it. So I'll see you soon. Hi everyone. It has been quite a while. It's been, I think, a week since I updated last. That's because we have family in town. It's the beginning of Thanksgiving. There's a lot going on. So yeah, but I have been making a little bit of progress reading, and I said I was going to wait until I was finished to see if I wanted to buy it, and I didn't. I went ahead and got it from Malibu Village Books, which I talked about in my favorite LA bookstores, which I can link above and below. But yes, I went ahead and bought it. Carrion on the front and Onyx on the back. Honestly, our best characters in the book, so I'm glad. It's funny that Carrion and Onyx were on the end pages because they honestly are the best parts of these books. So, or at least this book, best parts of this book. So I am meant to update at 50%, but I just didn't have a chance because of plans. And yeah, well, first of all, I got the gilded edged version, which will match my Quicksilver. Yep, so I am about 60% through. So audiobook, ebook, and physical book. So I have a lot of ways to read this, given whatever, situation I'm in. This is definitely a quintessential second book where things are being developed, things are being discovered, but not much is happening. Like we're obviously setting up for an explosive third book, I would say. And this one, not so much. There's a ton of little adventures we go on, which are interesting because it's 600 plus pages. Like, obviously you need to be interesting enough to keep reading 600 pages of not a ton of consequential stuff happening. So when you do get action, it does need to be interesting, and it is. But I have noticed that so far, a lot of the stuff that happens will be consequential down the line, but nothing huge, honestly, has happened in this book. I still find the sexy scenes kind of boring or cringy. Like, I've rolled my eyes a few times, so I'm not loving that. Like, the only scenes that I've really is the Onyx scenes, and honestly the Onyx and Fisher stuff has been cute. And Carrion is the savior of this book. He's the only time I laugh in the book. He is definitely the highlight of this book. And yeah, I really want to see more of him, instead of being a sidekick. We are getting a little bit more backstory on him and a little bit more information, but again, as with this whole book, it's setting us up. That gives me mixed feelings about it, honestly. I will update again, hopefully around 75%. I have 40% left, so a lot can happen in that. So I'll keep reading and let you know. Hi everyone, I am on chapter 43, which is about 80% through. So I thought I'd give a quick update. The only thing I have really to update is that consequential things are finally starting to happen. Things are getting exciting in a way that matters long term, I would say. Like I said before, a lot of the action that's happened, I feel doesn't really have long-term consequences. Finally, 80% in, hereabouts, we are getting some action and some plot points that are really going to have long reaching effects. So we're actually having some like consequential plot stuff move along, which is great. Yeah, so obviously I can't tell you what that is, but it is actually very fun to read. Other than that, I would say that everything I've said previously in this vlog is still standing. That really hasn't changed. So let's finish this. Hello everyone. Okay, so I finished it. Okay, so basically I read the last 20%. The last 20% was the best of the book for sure. Everything I already said about it still stands, having read the ending and everything. So everything before the 20% I've already talked about, and I feel the same way about it. So the last 20%. We got quite a scare there, if you know what I'm talking about. Quite a scare. And yeah, I was getting a little emotional at one point. That was a very scary part of the book, for sure. And that ending, like the bomb that got dropped at the ending, I was like just finished the book and then was kind of just looking around like this. So yeah, this is going to be a tough wait for the next book, which I think will probably be called Salt. The first book was all about Quicksilver. It's called Quicksilver. The second one is about Brimstone. It's called Brimstone. And then they mentioned Quicksilver, Brimstone, and Salt. So I think the third book's going to be called Salt. Those last two sentences, very much a big reveal that I'm sure, well, I don't know, I didn't see coming for sure. So there'll make a very interesting third book. It did build a lot of characters. We got a lot of backstory on characters that we didn't have before. The last 20%, Tal was a big standout for me, who I would never really cared a lot about. Like, I didn't dislike him, but I never really cared a lot about him. He was a great standout in the last 20%. So I'm really excited to follow him going forward. And obviously, like, the repercussions and the fallout from the last two sentences will be very interesting to see. I did not like Brimstone as much as Quicksilver. Quicksilver was a 5-star read. Brimstone is not a 5-star read, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to rate it. I'm going to sit with it for a few days and let it kind of sink in. I have a feeling this will be the weakest of the series because we're really, again, basically spent this entire book setting up book 3. So I think it will be the weakest, probably, is my guess. And I hope that I'm correct, because I want the other books to be better. Like, I want it to be like Quicksilver quality, and this one wasn't quite up there, but I understand why. Brimstone overall, liked it, didn't love it. Did not live up to Quicksilver, which is okay, because we have a lot building up for the next book. But I felt less overall than I did in Quicksilver. So I cared more when I was reading Quicksilver. But yeah, let me know if you've read Quicksilver or Brimstone, what you thought below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. That's all for me. In the description box below, you can find a link to our Discord, so please come over and chat books with us. Instagram, Goodreads, Wishlist, all the things down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.